I don't know where that bonus comes in. Doesn't seem to. Too bad, because it's a really nice one. I love that plus 15% max planning. How to use him. Anyway, he is an infantry leader. He could become an infantry expert. That seems to be pretty reasonable. For his capabilities? Sure. And then we've got our boss man, who could be a winter expert, but I think I'm going to save that to try and get a logistics wizard. Yeah, we'll hold off. And then you can get a trait. You can have offensive or defensive. I think, considering your max entrenchment, we're going to go for the defensive doctrine. So you're going to be the garrison guy. Old Guard is the worst trait. Paradox needs to remove it from the game altogether. It kind of serves a purpose. Old Guard basically means they were a general in World War I, so their thinking is out of date. They tend to have really good starting level. It's just that their future potential is limited, shall we say. Alright, I'm going to have so many little bits in this cup of tea now. And also heat. Ow. Hot. Pain. Second from bottom right. He's here, but he doesn't have that max planning bonus. He's not here either. There's somebody who's better at it. Olaf Thornell, that's...
Huzzah!
him. So if he hits level 8... yeah, see, his planning skill is going to go up and up and up. He starts with the level 6 version, which is expert. And if he ever gets to level 8, which is unlikely unless we trained him. I think we need to try to finish off the car lists. And there we go, the Agricultural Protection Board is done, so we can now get the oil shale and the SSAB. Beauforts would be a military factory, and also access to Beauforts, which is artillery. So I think we're going to be a heavy artillery faction. Yeah, almost certainly. That one, then that one. And then I think we're going to start working on the Conservative victory. Sweden has a significant deposit of oil shale, a fact known since the 18th century. Before the Welsh Creek, we had been ignoring these deposits in the modern day and age. Fuel is what wins war. Let us expand our operations of it. Also, this one only requires 1, so we could actually start going down this as soon as we have that. Which will be quite good. As a Swede, you should love the car lists. We had many kings named Karl. That's true. Carolus. Yep. You're not wrong. Ah, we can wrap up the commission, which will get rid of these quicker. Unless there's a bonus for getting unemployment down below 10%, but I don't think there is. So we'll just go ahead and do that, and boom. Job's done. Let's get you some planning prep so you can support the attacks here. Though right now you're kind of supporting the German tanks. amazing. Well, you're fending off like 3 different divisions. So I'll say good enough there, buddy. Good enough. Your job's done. Let's say keep going. Try and knock Greece out before we lose to Serbia. Final sentence of the Sala gang. In the summer of last year, a gang led by Sigvard Nilsson Torneman, a name he added himself, presumably because it's an anagram for manhunter, was arrested for murder. Soon, the investigations reached nationwide front news, as it turned out the gang was not only guilty of murders dating all the way back to 1931, but also because it ran more or less like an occult group and went under the nickname the Magic Circle. The leader and the conspirators were sentenced in court the other day, most of them to life in prison, but the leader was considered so mentally ill he was sentenced to closed psychiatric care. Many people are outraged and would have wanted to see Sigvard Nilsson Torneman put away for good. So we can respect the court's decision, or we can put him in prison. New poll. Which? Respect court. Put away. You have a minute. Get your votes in. What do you think we should do? There was an old general under the political advisors. Different guy. Same bonuses though. No, he had plus 15 max planning. Yeah, see, he has 15. He's better. Fort construction plus 15. Old general. Fort construction plus 10. Army experience gain plus 0.5. His was plus 0.1. He's twice as good. Probably from an old design. Okay, so vote is in, and respecting the court's decision has won out pretty significantly. Done. This is awfully close to a surround. PSA has declared war on the USA. AUS declared war on the PSA. CSA declared war on the PSA. And all of the above. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Not what I wanted. I want you over there. Which you draw as that. Weirdly. Now I really do want you to get that planning prep, so go. And we could also send troops and planes to the AUS. 1 division. Send volunteer, that guy with planes. They accept. Alabama, 14 planes. How many fighters do we have left? None. Well, I guess we're going for the medium bombers then. Why are we social conservatives? Last stream we're social democrats. Yeah, unfortunately that series bugged out. Black Monday hit a second time, so we had to start again. And this time chat voted differently. The fall of New York City, that was quick. Federal militias have been fighting sparse skirmishes with the Red Guard down the Hudson River. This morning, the palisades, both natural and man-made, fell from the syndicalist hands. Not long after that, Manhattan Island was forced to capitulate rather than risk the massive loss of life that urban warfare would bring. The syndicates have ordered the remainder of the Red Guard to transport the gold from the Federal Reserve Building to safety, leaving behind many financial workers imprisoned on Welfare Island. The whole of New York is now under the control of the United States of America, with a massive relief effort is underway to assess the full scope of the damage that the syndicalists did to the city. That's a really big deal for them. And they have New England. Oh, but they don't have Colorado. PSA does. They've pretty radically changed this. Interesting. That's made the PSA significantly stronger. Kind of looks like you would do better in the East Coast when you arrive. In the wrong place. Aha! New guns. Gear upgrading. And with those guns in place, we can also get the field anti-vehicle kit, which gives us more piercing and hard attack. I think I'm going to go for the sniper teams though, because that gives our recon better stuff. Meanwhile, in Greece, things are going good. However, Sofia, not so good. Right, let's go and stick you in the capital. Hopefully I get there before you lose. Things here are dangerous. New Orleans has arrived, so you're not going to have a field marshal. Archibald Douglas could be promoted. Holmqvist loses stuff. Actually, Ernst Linder seems pretty good. Trickster Winter Specialist. Yeah, perfect man to be fighting in Louisiana. I love it. Okay. Let's see if we can drive a wedge. Right there. Democracy prevails in the Philippines. Having just achieved independence from the United States, the Philippines face today perhaps one of the most serious challenges any new country could face. Inspired by the Communist Combined Syndicates of America, the Baratia Commune, disgruntled army workers, army officers even, marched on Manila to support the rebelling peasants and workers. However, their army went nah, and then they lost. True story. You two can deploy. You can join them. You can start drilling. That's a nice name. Hammer. See, that I would read as Hammer Skjold, but I think it's actually Hammer Skjold. Because of the weird thing that Swedes do with the SK and the even more so SKJ sound. Only played 2 games of Kaiserreich in this version, both of them the US Civil War has gone unresolved, and Canada intervened but doesn't attack the Entente. Interesting. First way is how you say it in Danish. I do find Danish a lot easier to read. I'm sorry, Sweden. But Danish is easier for a native English speaker. Swedish is just alien. I'm trying really hard to learn it, but it is really hard. Much harder than I ever anticipated it would be. You may as well assist in the counterattacks. Panama Canal Crisis. Finished in 1914, the Panama Canal is one of the most important trade passageways on the American continent, controlled by the United States until now. With the outbreak of the Second American Civil War, the federal government was forced to withdraw the canal's marine forces, leaving it open to invasion. And, to little surprise, Panamanian troops launched an operation to take back such an invaluable area. This move, however, was opposed by Canada, which presented them an ultimatum. Panama would immediately cease their invasion, while the Entente would safeguard the canal for the time being. In the face of Canadian pressure, the small Latin American nation has backed down, diffusing the crisis. Hey, palm tree. I actually remember the first time I played as Sweden, saw the royal government path, and I thought this is such a Mordred path. Why? That's the Return of the King, new king, stabilise the nation. Oh, because you can go down free trade, which is what we're going to do. And you, honestly, may as well just beeline for Belgrade. If you don't get cut off. Oh, and then you fall ill. Fantastic! Wait, who was... Oh, it was you, Linda. Yeah, the heat was too much for you, wasn't it, buddy? There you are. You're not doing anything. Why? Get over there. Hawaii has joined the co-prosperity sphere. The Peru-Bolivian Confederation has been restored. It appears that an old area has been reborn in South America. The original confederation between Peru and Bolivia, viewed by its many regional enemies as a potential threat, was torn asunder by the victorious Chile after the Battle of Yungay in 1839. Still, this new confederation could, unlike its predecessor, prove able to sustain itself in these unstable times in South America and the wider world. Observers, both overseas and domestic, have noted, however, that there are a number of key issues that must be worked out between La Paz and Lima before this new polity can be truly called a united nation. Glad we don't have to deal with sudden increased heat in real life. Alright, so we got radio. That is still ahead of time. That's still too far ahead of time. Right, we wanted to start working towards better artillery. Because we're going to be getting Bofors. There's the oil shale. Military coup in Japan. Reports from Tokyo over the past few weeks have been scarce, but it now appears the Japanese democracy is dead. After years of infighting, scandals and corruption amongst the political parties, radical restorationist officers launched a coup d'etat aiming to transform the country into an ultra-nationalist regime. Ultimately, it seems their efforts were for naught. Troops loyal to the government were able to launch a counter-coup and successfully crush the rebels. Yet this episode has shown without a doubt the party's weakness. Japan has effectively transformed into a military dictatorship with nationalism, corporatism and militarism as its guiding principles. Here we go, urbanization. Svealand becomes a sprawling urban region, Norrland becomes a developed rural region, which I think increases the number of factories they can maintain. It is the 20th century, and society as a whole is moving towards urbanization. It would be a great advantage to us to embrace this as well, for Sweden is home to lots of agrarian societies. So, you are currently urban. Most importantly, you have 10 unlocked slots. Oh, there's Scorched Earth. I never even knew where that button was. And then Norrland has 4. 10 and 4. Remember those numbers. Do I want troops training? We don't have the kit for them, so no, I don't think so. Zardom restored. The Russian Republic, created in the last years of the Weltkrieg, appears to have only lasted 20 years before its end. Plagued by disorder, political agitation and ineffective governance in recent years, the Republic lost its support of the people, and the state news agencies now report that the successor to Nikolai II has been crowned Tsar of all of the Russians. While it's not known what the international priorities of this reborn Russian Empire are, even if the coronation of the Tsar will calm the turbulent nation, numerous monarchs across the world have already congratulated the Romanovs on regaining their divine birthright. Take Valladolid, please do. The guy's surrounded, so you might as well. Just don't lose Madrid in the meantime. Ah. They regained their position, although I don't think this guy's going to last. Tanks are helping. The Second Internationale. The First Syndicalist Internationale, held in Paris, dealt with the spreading the ideology overseas, supporting syndicalist movements and strengthening the ties between the existing socialist nations, and thanks to the gathering success, the Second Internationale has been called to be held in London. How am I doing for artillery, by the way? Okay, we're really short. So I think what I might do here is cancel you and have you start making artillery instead. Huzzah! Poker-chan, thank you very much for the 3-month resubscription on Prime. Very much appreciate the ongoing support there. 3 months already. More 6 and you will be born. Heck yeah. Thank you very much for the support there. And we should actually double check to see if I missed any other notifications. I have! Ancient Gamer, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. King Banhammer. Hey Banhammer, how are you doing? Came in with a 13-month Prime resub. I have this shiny button and it requires taunting. Press it, press it, press it. Thank you very much for the ongoing support, guys. Always appreciated. Alright, let's keep going. Man, the road to Belgrade really is open. Is Bulgaria actually going to win? It could. I think what I want to do here is guard Madrid. Because... you got cut off. Yeah. I think the Kingdom of Spain has overextended itself. Syndicalist revolutionaries in Switzerland. Oh, and Austria declared war on Hungary. I was like, what the heck happened there? Austria-Hungary just split. Chaotic... Something smells like it's burning. I'll check that in a minute. No, something is really burning. Back a second. Thing. Some idiot smoking outside of my window. At least I hope it was. I couldn't see anything. But wow, that stinks. I'll get up and check again in a bit. Checking it's not the laptop overheating. This new one barely ever even gets close to being hot. Wonder if I should shut my kitchen window too. Alright. So Switzerland's on fire. Cool. Crisis on the Danube. During the Austro-Hungarian Auskrieg of 1937, the Austrians promised the autonomous states of their empire that the minorities in Transylvania would receive autonomy. The Hungarians, however, were unwilling to oblige with the dismantlement of their state and the privileges within the monarchy. In consequence, the Austrians have announced their intentions to both humiliate Hungary and liberate the Slovaks, Transylvanians and Ruthenes by force, and already skirmishes have begun along the Austro-Hungarian border. Only time will tell the fate of the former dual monarchy. I'm going to go and close the window in my kitchen. That stuff stinks.